هيدر هيدر عم الآخر هيدر 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 صوغي كوثر هيدر 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 أي مظلوم فاتح هيدر هيدر فاتح خيبر هيدر هيدر
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Brothers and sisters, today is the shahadat of Mawla Kanat, Mawla Ali alayhi salam. Shahadat meaning martyrdom. Today is the day that Imam Ali was martyred over 1400 years ago. We're here to let the people know today. As you can see behind me, people are grieving. The Shias have been doing this for over 1400 years, and it's to let the people know that today a tragedy occurred in the Ummah. Muslim brothers and sisters, they need to know what's going on. A great man, a lion of Allah, was martyred today. I want to tell you a little bit about what happened today, because people don't really know the background of how he was martyred. Imam Ali alayhi salam, the lion of Allah, how he was martyred, who was behind it, and what actually happened. So let me just break it down for you lot. After Imam Ali's battle with Muawiyah and his arbitration, and after his last battle with the Khawarij were an extreme group of party, which you could basically translate as today's ISIS. Imam Ali had a battle called the Battle of Nahrawan. In that battle, Imam Ali defeated the Khawarij. He basically annihilated them. After that battle, the Khawarij, and this is the same group that the Prophet said that they will recite the Quran, but the Quran will not go down their throats. They will have long marks of prostration on their forehead, but it will not avail them. It will not help them. And what he means by that is, these people will be the first ones to read namaz, salah. These people will be the first people to recite the Quran, but their understanding will be wrong. And these are the same people who martyred Imam Ali. So Imam Ali, after the Battle of Nahrawan, 3 people out of the Khawarij planned, and they planned to kill 3 people. Who were the 3 people they planned to kill? They planned to kill Imam Ali alayhi salam, number 1. Number 2, Muawiyah ibn Abu Sufyan. Number 3, Amr bin As. As you remember, these 3 people were pivotal in the arbitration. The plan was to kill all these 3 people. What happened was, each one went to those cities, respective cities. So Amr bin As was in Egypt, Muawiyah was in Syria, Imam Ali was in Kufa. One person that was sent to Syria to kill Muawiyah, when Muawiyah came out for prayer, the person successfully hit Muawiyah, but Muawiyah's cut wasn't deep, he survived. The second person came out to kill Amr bin As. When Amr bin As came out to pray that day, he wasn't feeling that well, conveniently. And someone else was sent to lead prayer instead. That person, that Kharji, attacked Amr bin As and actually killed him. So the person that was killed wasn't Amr bin As, it was the person who replaced him. The third person who came out was Abdurrahman ibn Muljim, and he came out to kill Imam Ali. Now, before I get into his martyrdom, I just want to say 2 things. It's convenient that the person who hit Muawiyah, that attack wasn't heavy, so Muawiyah survived. And it's very convenient that Amr bin As, who was also attacked, but he wasn't feeling that well that day, he sent someone else, and that other person was killed. So what is the conclusion? Muawiyah and Amr bin As both survived by both of those Kharjis. But Imam Ali, what happened to him? Imam Ali, in the night of Kufa on the 21st of Ramadan, when he came out to lead the morning prayer in Masjid al-Kufa, and before he came out, he was in his daughter's house, Sayyidah Kulthum alayhi salam, and he had his final dinner, on the final food. When he ate, and after he finished eating, he looked in the sky, and what did he say? By Allah, I am not lying, nor am I making a wrong statement. This is the night about which promise has been made to me. So he says, this is the same night that I got promised that something will happen this night. Imam Ali knew. Ibn Hajar narrates that in his Suwaq al-Muhrika, by the way. What was the promise that he was given on this night? What was the promise that Imam Ali was given on this night? Let me tell you what that promise was. Imam Ali was told in a Sahih hadith by Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, that Imam Ali said, the Prophet said to me, verily the Ummah will soon betray you after me, and you will live upon my religion, and you will be killed upon my sunnah. Whoever loves you loves me, and whoever hates you hates me. Verily this will soon be painted from this. Now what that this is, he meant his beard will be drained from his head. So when he said this will be painted from this, meaning when he gets struck on the head, that blood will drip to his beard. So this will be painted by this, or this will be painted by this. So the Prophet in his ilm al-ghaib was told Imam Ali that you will be martyred after me and you will live upon my sunnah. So Imam Ali knew about the incident because the truthful Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam had told him about this. So Imam Ali came out on that night and he knew what was going to happen that night. He went inside the masjid. When he went inside the masjid, Abdurrahman ibn Muljim Lanatullah alayh was sitting there waiting for Imam Ali. And Imam Ali knew what was going to happen. As he led the prayer, and he was in his, after he done his sajda, and he came up from sajda, Abdurrahman ibn Muljim came from behind and struck him on the back. No man could ever face Imam Ali face to face. The coward who killed him had to kill him from the back, as it is the way of the hypocrites and those who are scared to attack from behind, never from the front, because no man could attack from the behind, from the front. He attacked him on the head, and the sword was poisoned. Now Abdurrahman ibn Muljim, I just want to tell you a little bit about him. This person, and just remember, I just want to tell you about Imam Ali's character. When he was struck, Imam Ali said, the same way I have been struck, if I die from this strike, kill my killer in the same way, one strike dead. Look at the justice. The first thing Imam Ali done when he was struck was, make sure my killer has been fed water. He wanted the person who struck him to be given a sip of water, even though he had struck him with a sword that was poisoned. Look at the justice of Imam Ali alayhi salam. This person, Abdurrahman ibn Muljim, what do we know about him? Let me tell you what the Prophet said about the killer of Imam Ali, and then let me tell you what certain scholars have said about this person, especially from the so-called Ahl Sunnah. Imam Ali, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the most wretched of all the earlier times was the one who slaughtered the camel. The camel of who? The camel of Shuaib alayhi salam, the she camel of Allah. In Hazrat Shuaib alayhi salam's nation, there was a she camel who was gifted to them by Allah. It was a gift, and he was special. The Prophet is saying the person who was the most wretched in that time was the person who slaughtered that camel. While the most wretched of all the later times is the one who will strike you, O Ali. So the Prophet is saying, just the way he was the most wretched at that time, the most wretched of all later times, and indeed until Day of Judgment, is going to be the one who strikes you, O Ali. And he indicated where he would be struck. He indicated where he would be struck. So we've got two hadith now. Now what do certain scholars say about this person, Ibn Muljim? We know what the Prophet said about him. He's the most wretched. By the way, Imam al-Bani authenticated that hadith in his book Al-Silsila al-Hadith al-Sayha. What is Ibn Taymiyyah, who's the chief, who Sunni scholars follow, what did he say about this killer? He says in his Minhaj al-Sunnah, which is the anti-Shia book that he wrote against us as a refutation to us, his murderer, whose murderer? Ali's murderer, is one of them, meaning the Khawarij. And he was Abdurrahman ibn Muljim al-Muradi. Despite that, he was one of the best of people in worship and one of the people of knowledge. So who do I follow? The Prophet saying he's the most wretched of individuals of later times. Ibn Taymiyyah says he was the best of mankind in worship and one of the best people of knowledge. This shows you people doing ibadah means nothing. If your Aqidah against the Prophet's family isn't right, it means nothing. Pray as much as you want, fast as much as you want. Like I said last year in the same spot, ISIS pray the most, they fast the most, but it's the same people, the same mentality that killed Imam Ali. And we have Ibn Taymiyyah praising this individual, saying he was the best of worship and the people of knowledge. What is the use of knowledge when you kill Imam Ali? What is the use of knowledge when you don't follow Imam Ali? Nothing. Let me continue with this. I continue with Imam Ali getting martyred. When Imam Ali was martyred and that happened, we know what Ibn Muljim done. Imam Ali then said, in the same way, if I die from this, give this person one strike. Imam Ali was struck on the 19th of Ramadan. 19, 20, 21. Today's the 21st. On the 21st of Ramadan, Imam Ali breathed his last. And he went to his Lord. So on the 21st, he was actually martyred. So 19th, he was struck. 23rd, 21st, he was martyred. In the same way, Imam Ali said, in the same way I get killed, kill him. Ibn Muljim was killed in the same way. Struck once and died. No oppression. This is the justice of Imam Ali alayhi salam. And this is what we stand here today. And we come here year after year. year after year we come here to tell the people the oppression that struck the Prophet's family. And I just want to make a point. The oppression, and I'm going to address the non-Muslims now. Oppression that non-Muslims and Muslims in the West, and we've got an issue of terrorism in the world. This issue, the first people to feel this, as I keep saying, and I'm going to keep saying it, was the Prophet's family. It wasn't Sunnis, it wasn't Shias, it was the Prophet's family themselves. This is what happened to Imam Ali. This is what happened to Imam Hassan. And the people who killed them and martyred them were people who used to pray, who used to fast, who had long beards, who kept their trousers up beneath their ankles. This is an old problem, and it continues till today. And the followers of Imam Ali alayhi salam will keep coming out on the streets, will keep mourning, and will keep letting the people know that just the way you martyred our Imam, we will not stop talking about it, and we'll continue mourning until the day of judgment. And I'm going to leave you viewers with that message, that our Imam was the most madloom, and just the indication that I didn't make earlier. It's interesting in the books of history that mentions that, you know, Imam Ali was martyred and it was the Khawarij. But the same people who tried to attack Muawiyah and Amr ibn As, I believe this potentially could be a conspiracy, because they say that it was the Khawarij who attacked all three people. But it's interesting that Amr ibn As and Muawiyah survived. So these two survived, but Imam Ali was martyred. You know, conveniently, Muawiyah was hit, but the strength of the sword only cut him and he survived. Amr ibn As, conveniently that day, wasn't feeling well and he sent someone else, and that person was killed instead. Could it be a conspiracy? Like I tell you, in history, anything is there. Start questioning history and start understanding that the same, who would benefit the most from Imam Ali dying? And just again, another clarification. Just before Imam Ali was martyred, he was getting his soldiers ready. Why? To go attack Muawiyah again. Because the atrocities that Muawiyah had committed with the companion Busr. He was a modern day ISIS, and he had basically conspired and attacked the cities of Yemen. Imam Ali was getting his army together to go and attack and fight Muawiyah again. And it was at this point Imam Ali was martyred. So who was going to be the beneficiary of this martyrdom? Muawiyah. So they say the Khawarij done it, but who were the Khawarij working for? I'm going to leave you with that. And I'll leave you with that. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Ya Ali Madad.